Okay, so when we are handed a word problem similar to this one, we first need to read it. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is look and see what kind of problem it is that we're dealing with. So this tells me that a radioactive element decreases at a rate of 5% annually. There are 40 grams of the substance present, and then it wants to know how much remains after 30 years. And so I know that since we're dealing with exponential growth and decay, I have two options about what kind of problem this could be. The word decreases clues me into the fact that we're talking decay. And remember, when we are dealing with exponential decay, it follows the formula f of t is equal to a, our initial value, times 1 minus r as a decimal to the t power. So after we have identified if we're dealing with growth or decay, we need to figure out what our a and r values are. And remember, a, that's your initial value. It's what you start with. This tells me that at the very beginning, there are 40 grams of our substance present. So our a is equal to 40 grams. Now our R value, that represents our rate, our 5%. And remember, rate has to be written as a decimal. So if we were to change 5% to a decimal, it would become 0.05. And once we've identified our A and our R values, we can rewrite our equation substituting in for A and R. So if we want to rewrite this rule, we're going to have f of t is equal to our initial value of 40 grams times 1 minus our rate. And our rate was this 0.05. To the t power. And remember, t stands for time. So we're looking at, as time is passing, what's our value going to end up being? And we can simplify this just a little bit further by subtracting. And when we subtract, we find that f of t is equal to 40 times 0.95 to the t power. Now, this question asks us to find how much remains after 30 years. And that 30 years tells us what our time it needs to be equal to. So if t equals 30, then what does our prediction tell us? So we need to plug in 30 where we see t. And then whatever value we get for that is how much is left after 30 years. And when you plug this into your calculator, you get 8.5855. And remember, this is in terms of grams. So after 30 years, there are about, I'm going to scoot this up so you can see, 8.59 grams left.